This is a video guide to the story of Destiny 2. I'll be covering the main story events since Beyond Light, but may refer to previous events to provide context for the story. This video took me a while to write and edit, so a like would be greatly appreciated. The story starts all the way back in Destiny 1, in the Taken King, when Queen Mara and the Awoken attack Oryx in the infamous Taken King cutscene. Mara is killed by the wave of energy from the Dreadnought, and in doing so is killed symbolically by Oryx's sword. This means that with help from her Harbingers and her Techeuns, she can enter the Ascendant Plane in an attempt to steal the Taken throne and control the army of Taken that Oryx possessed. When she entered the plane, she was greeted by an entity in the dark. This entity was in control of the Taken and the worm gods that the Hive praise, and gave Oryx the ability to take. Prior to this, Mara had used Riven to create a perfect throne world to go back to in the Ascendant Plane. This was found by Oryx and destroyed, leading to the Shattered Throne dungeon. Prince Uldren was also hit by the blast of the Dreadnought, and his ship crash landed on Mars, where from then on he felt like there was something in his eye. Eventually finding a ship, and making his way to Earth with the barons he met on his adventures, attacked the House of Kings, being found and caught by Cayde and Petra and placed into the Prison of Elders. Variks the Loyal causes a prison-wide jailbreak. In his dream of doing what Skolas could never do, become the Kell of Kells, this led to the events of the Forsaken campaign. Variks fled to Europa, being wanted by the Awoken and the City. When Prince Uldren is shot by the player and Petra Venj, he is laid to rest in the Dreaming City, to be guarded by Petra, due to the idea that he may be revived by a ghost, and the Queen could have her own personal guardian to use at will. Later, while Petra was plotting to end the curse of the Dreaming City, a ghost named Pulled Pork resurrects Uldren. He finds a way to the spider in the Tangled Shore. This starts the series of events that starts Season of the Hunt. Season of the Hunt. Osiris sends for the Guardian to assist him with killing an Ascendant Hive known as the High Celebrant, who is an enforcer of Oryx's second sister, Xivu Arath. We soon find out that Osiris has lost his ghost Sagira after she sacrificed herself to save a pinned Osiris having his light drained by the High Celebrant. Imolam Part 2 reads, "Osiris, why don't you ever listen to me?" she compiles in front of him. "What are you? Sharp? Listen to my words." Her iris is bright with light. "There are great things still left for you. Don't lose hope in the darkness." She is luminant. Osiris breathes the word, as if he could not hold back. No, he wouldn't understand in time. She had seen it. Blinding light erupts from Sagira's core as she splits apart. A wave of light surges and tears across the chasm. Her sacrifice cleanses every trace of Xivu Arath's presence. The sigil erased, the cryptolith that had supported the projection destroyed. Osiris draws breath, alone. Osiris continues on alone and gets to the Shrine of Oryx on the moon, where he finds us, and we both find an unlikely ally in the Crow, the resurrected new guardian of the Prince Uldren. Crow is employed by the Spider and is keen to destroy the Hive threat and eliminate the High Celebrant. Osiris and the Crow grow closer as Crow seems to see him as a mentor. The Spider offers the Guardian a deal. If you kill the High Celebrant, you can have anything in his chamber. We choose to free the Crow, as we realize he is not the person that he used to be anymore. During the Harbinger mission, we realize that the Traveler is on our side, and that the light is speaking with the Crow, much like the speakers of the past. Meanwhile, rumors of Calus, Emperor of the Cabal, ordering kidnappings of Scorn from the Tangled Shore have begun to surface in his disappearance at the end of Season of the Arrivals, when the fallen transport for Spider is destroyed with no trace of Scorn inside. Season of the Chosen. Kytul, daughter of Calus, arrives and offers us a partnership to eliminate the Dark and the Hive as one. When asked to kneel, Zavala says no. This makes Kytul go to war with the city. Meanwhile, a distress beacon is set off near where Mars used to be before its disappearance. This brings the Guardian to the Glykon, a stolen Red Legion ship containing stolen Scorn. The ship seems to be an experiment by Emperor Calus. Calus wished to speak with the Dark after the events of Season of the Arrivals. His silence forced the Dark into the Scorn to make a link to the entity that speaks in the dark. The Scions are successful in forcing the dark into the Scorn using a strange hive crown. The dark speaks to them. Entry 9 of the captain's log states, "The spine of the Glykon breaks, its vertebrae are now interchanging. The Scorn howl to the herald crossing into nothing. Through the locusts they hear whispers and obey. Meet salvation." If this sounds familiar, it's because the Dark has been saying this to us since Shadowkeep, or as Callus put it, the entity. With help from Kythel and Osiris, we learn the crown is the crown of sorrow that has been changed to alter minds outside rather than in. Osiris brings the crown to the tower for safekeeping. Kythel advises otherwise. Zavala challenges Kythel to ritual combat, and we beat her champion, ending the war before it begins. We form an uneasy alliance with the Cabal, and Saladin is sent as a mediator. Crow and Osiris have their friendship tested when the Crow almost reveals his secret identity to Zavala during an assassination attempt by Kythel's betrayers. Osiris is suspicious in his reaction to this encounter, as he seems to not care for Zavala's life. Season of the Splicer. A Vex simulation of night has swept over the Lost City, and the only person who can help us is a familiar face, Mithrax. Ikora agrees to a peace treaty with the fallen House of Light, and they begin to live in the city. Using Sacred Splicer technology, we begin to break down the walls of the Vex network, and find that Quaria has been in control of the Taken, and is the reason for the Endless Night. Osiris wants to capture Quaria instead of kill it to study it. Mithrax disagrees. The people of the city do not agree with Ikora, allowing previous enemies into the walls of the city without democracy, and Lakshmi II, the leader of the future war cult, spearheads a possible coup to overthrow the Vanguards, thinking that the fallen were prophesied to leave the city in ashes. Quaria is found and defeated by the player, and Savathun loses control of the Taken. Lakshmi opens a Vex portal with the help of Osiris, who's been playing both sides of the coup. The portal is opened in the Elixni quarters of the city, releasing the Vex and completing her own prophecy, perishing in the process. This event only brings the Elixni and the people of the city closer together. Osiris, being found assisting Lakshmi, is nowhere to be found. Season of the Lost. Saint 14 is searching for Osiris so that he can help him clear his name from the events of Season of the Splicer. Meanwhile, the death of Quaria is sending shockwaves through the Taken, allowing their original master to regain control, being assisted by Oryx's second sister Xivu Arath. We find Osiris with the help of Saint 14 and the Crow, communing with the Queen of the Reef, back in the flesh for the first time since the Taken King. Osiris reveals that he's been Savathun this whole time, since Season of the Hunt. She wants to be rid of her worm, and enlists the Awoken to help her do this, in exchange for the real Osiris, and to fix the Dreaming City of its curse. In the Queen's return to this plane of existence, she was attacked by Xivu Arath and lost many Techeuns in the Shattered Realm. The Queen encapsulates Savathun in a crystal in order to stop her worm from eating her from the inside, and to stop her sister from finding her. Savathun pleads that she's been friendly and been helping us in ways that we could never do ourselves, and she says there's no such thing as good or bad, only paracausal. Mara brings up that the light and dark do not mean good or bad, but the pyramid ships and their masters, the entity or the voice in the dark, is the true evil. The Crow wants to speak with Savathun, but the Queen forbids it. This makes him want it even more. The Queen reveals that she wants a guardian on her side, and that was the purpose of Aldrin in the past before the spider got to him. While exploring the Shattered Realm, you encounter the Scorn acting out of their usual ways and participating in ritual combat and mining for Ascendant energy. The Queen assumes they are evolving. The Crow manages to get an audience with Savathun. In doing so, she shows him his past life. This makes him want to remove himself from the seasonal story, and he takes up the role of Cabal Liaison. Over the weeks, we find and recover the Queen's Techeuns, and rebuild her coven. At the request of the Queen, we are sent to protect her as they exercise Savathun's worm. Xivu Arath attacks, attempting to kill Savathun. She sends an onslaught to stop the process of her exorcism. We are successful in warding off Xivu's attack, and the Queen completes the ritual, then plans to kill a vulnerable Savathun, but in her place is the weak and lightless body of Osiris. Savathun has escaped. Even so, the Queen is optimistic that she can cure the Dreaming City and that Osiris will be okay because she has Savathun's worm. Saint 14 says he wants to be the first person that Osiris sees when he wakes up, also that he wants to be first in line to kill Savathun for what she has done. This has been the story of the Destiny 2 seasons over the last year leading up to the Witch Queen. Thank you for watching.